Hi, I'm Weena Rutledge with Keith and Musset Lawn, and I'd like to tell you about how to garden for hummingbirds. But first we want to cover a couple of basic landscape design concepts. One, you want to have a focal point to your garden. Everybody wants to walk out into their backyard and have their eyes drawn to a certain point. So that's called your focal point. It may be a piece of garden statuary, it could be a water feature, it could be garden art, but something that your eye's drawn to. Could even be a specimen plant, something gorgeous that you really want to put in your garden. After that, you want to think about curves to your garden, such as this path. That's your hardscape item. And you want to make it not a straight line, but kind of curvy. You want to think in 3s, 5s, 9, odd numbers. Those are natural in your garden. Having plants that are lined up like soldiers, or having them even numbers. Even numbers is not nature. Odd numbers tend to be more nature. The other thing you want to think about are textures. You want different textures, such from grasses, from your leaves. You want different colors, whether they're flowering plants or they're different types of color greens, maybe some purples in the foliage. But you want to think color, texture, and balance. That's where your odd numbers come in, balance. Next, we're going to talk about what plants and other things that you need in your garden to attract hummingbirds. One of the other features that you could have in your garden for hummers is a water feature, but you can't have a typical water feature that you would for other birds. Hummers like mist, so you want to find mist that sprays down on some foliage or twigs so that they can preen under it, get a little water from it, and cool off. Hummingbirds will not go to a typical bird bath, so you want misting type of things. The other thing you want to have near your water feature are taller plants, such as the Sephora here. The Sephora will attract hummingbirds because it has a deep throat that hummers like to sup from. And other things that you need to think about is open spaces for your hummingbird. They need a little bit of open area, and then need to be able to leave that open area where they're nectaring or gathering insects for food, and go to a tree or a shrub for shelter, such as this tree. So provide some open space, provide a tree or shrub that they can shelter, and provide some nectaring stations, whether they're the Turk's cap or the hummingbird feeder. And some protection from wind is also a good idea. So the fencing, a screen of shrubs is a good way to protect your garden. Most of your hummingbird plants require lots of sunlight to produce flowers, and that's what the hummingbirds are coming into. They're coming in to nectar at red flowers, such as this Turk's cap, which is probably one of the best plants that you can have in your garden. So again, to have hummingbirds come to your garden, provide some nectaring plants or maybe a feeding station to supplement. Provide some insect type of plants and a little bit of water, such as a misting station, and a little bit of habitat, whether it's a shrub or a tree, so that they can run for cover. This is Weena Rutledge with Keith and Musset Lawn.